Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the TT Show with your host, me. Woo! Okay, so, yeah, I am back after a little hiatus thingy-majig, and newsflash, I didn't get sick this time, because you know I always get sick right in the middle of the hiatus whenever I take one, but I didn't this time. And it's a good thing, since I got no wait, I did get sick. I did. Thursday before last. I went to the doctor, I got shots. I got 4 of them, and I got a flu shot. I think I had a reaction to a flu shot. So I just lied to you. Told you I didn't get sick when I really did. So, yeah. That was a lot of information in 53 seconds. Woot woot. Okay, so, yeah. Let's see. Lots happened. Okay, so, fun story for you. Other day, I go downstairs, and in the living room, my mother had, like, this box out with some of my great-grandmother's stuff, and it's, like, kind of in the floor. And I walk past it, and, I see this album, this big, not like a small, like a big, like in the vinyl albums. I look down, I'm like, is that Dolly Parton? And sure enough it was, and of course, just a random Dolly Parton vinyl albums laying out in our living room. Dolly Parton's A Heartbreaker, which I found out is actually from 1978. Doesn't he look hot? Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sammy. Girl, working that. So, oh, I need to look at it. Let's see. What's in it? Yeah, here's the album, and what's this? And, some random picture of Jesus in the Dolly Parton album. A little random, but alrighty then. That works too. Yeah, so, here is the vinyl. So I don't have anything to play it on, but I found it kind of amusing. So, yeah, I kind of just, found a random Dolly Parton album in my living room. I love Dolly. She, yeah. My mother got me hooked on Dolly. All her music. She's got some awesome music. Just throwing that out there. I have a little Dolly history. Because when I went to the mountains one time, I went to the Dixie Stampede. And which is Dolly Parton's Dixie Stampede, because, you know, she owns all of Tennessee. She's like the Oprah of Tennessee. She owns every bit of it. It's like, I think her and Oprah could have a great Clash of the Titans thing going on. That'd be a great televised event, don't you think? I would totally watch that, or I would DVR if private practice was on. Just give or take kind of thing. So yeah. And then, of course, when I was in Tennessee that time in the mountains, there was like tons of Dolly Parton stuff going on. And I went to Dollywood, but it was closed. But they had like people walking around all dressed up. I'm like, if it's closed, why are you dressed up? So I go home. But apparently, every other time, she's been there a lot though. And I've heard that she's like, one of my teachers told me, Miss Clay, I think you told me this, is like, even though you're probably not even watching this, is that like she's over, like she'll come and inspect all the rides and stuff, you know, after. So, I guess, you know, you put your name on something, you might as well put everything in it and inspect it. So yeah. So, random Dolly Parton album finding in my living room. But, and besides Dolly Parton, my great-grandmother had like every single Elvis album ever shot out of his rear end. I mean, I don't know what was up though, but she had a lot of those albums. And when she passed away in 2005 or something like that, like me and my cousins, we all just split them up. She had like so many, we could all take like 3 or 4 of them. So we were out in our building the other day looking at boxes, well not the other day, but we had before. And we were looking at boxes, and there were like tons of Elvis albums just like that, like, you know, there as it can be. Okay, so done with the Dolly thing. Now, I have another story for you. It's a little story I like to call the story of Mr. Buttons, Gingerbread Jane, and Hulk. Those names have no meaning to you at the current moment. Right now, you're probably thinking, what the heck is this kid talking about? Okay, so, in theater, we're doing this new play called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It's about a Christmas pageant. Yeah, and we're doing it in December, but of course, you have to rehearse for it. So right now, we're rehearsing it and getting all the stuff down. Well, in this play, there's like a lot of kids. Okay, and all these kids, there's so many of them that you just, you're like, whoa. And so, and I help a lot with some of the kids, like when I'm like, okay, you sit there, And so, one thing I found that helped keeping yourself from not going insane is I found a few kids and gave them names, because there's like 3 or 4 of these kids that are just like, woo! I mean, of course, we egg, I'm sure, a little bit we egg these kids on. I'm not gonna lie, because it's funny. But some of us are just flipping nuts. Okay? Like, you put one kid next to me, and I look like I don't know, I look like I could just stand still. And I'm ADHD, I never shut up, and I can never stand still. So that's pretty bad. Okay? So there was this one kid, and he was, we're backstage, and he was like, there's like buttons for like the curtains and stuff, and he was about to touch one of the buttons. We're like, no, don't touch it! So me and my friend Autumn started calling him Mr. Buttons. Okay? And he probably liked it, and stayed with it, and took it, That's his name now. And then the other day, I was eating a little gingerbread person, and this girl came up to me, and she's like, oh, what's your gingerbread? She was like rehearsing. They're all supposed to be sitting there all quiet. She's like, oh, what your gingerbread? I'm like, no, kid, you can't have a gingerbread, okay? It's my gingerbread. Hands off. So I named her Gingerbread Jane. Granted, she had another name before that, but I made his name G-rated because I just had to, but the other name is a lot funnier. Yeah. And then there was this other kid who one day came in, and he was wearing like one of those Under Armour shirts that like sucks to your body, that I would never wear because no one wants to see all that, So he like walks in, he's like wearing this Under Armour shirt. He's like, I'm strong. So I named him Hulk. So now we have Mr. Buttons, Gingerbread Jane, and Hulk. And there's tons of kids I'm slowly giving each one of them names. So I'm betting you by the time this show closes or whatever in December, whatever it is, 12th, 10th, 11th, whatever day, the last day we do it, they'll probably all have names. And, of course, Mr. Buttons, like I've said, he took that out on that's now his name. He has no other name but Mr. Buttons. So, well, the other day he wanted to be called El Mustache or something like that. Like he had like a chocolate mustache, El Mustache. I don't know. So, yeah. There's my 2 weeks for you.